welcome everyone. My name is Jantje. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. This is going to be a unique one. I'm addressing a question that has been raised in the comments, and while in future I would like to give you the space to ask questions in the live stream. Upcoming live streams. At the moment there is none scheduled, so I felt like recording a video for this one. And I'm just going to read out the question to you. And you know who you are. I'm not going to give any names or YouTube handles. Now, Jantje, would you be able to ask the masters about feelings of anxiety, about the destruction humankind has caused, and the future for humans, how to live life, and hope for the future when realities may change a lot? Now, I feel like personally addressing that a little bit as well from my human, and then handing over to the beautiful masters and light beings to give their perspective, because that's also the question that was asked. But nonetheless, we are humans. We're souls in our humans' costumes, and so I feel like addressing that as well. So first of all, thank you for asking that question. Thank you for addressing that topic. And I feel that and know that at the moment there is a lot going on in our personal environment, in the world, in our countries. And while that is particularly nothing new, so to say, I guess previous generations also had their experiences, and I'm not comparing, I'm just feeling like giving a little bit of background from what I have experienced. And for my humble opinion, it is one of the reasons why all this is happening is for us to realize who we truly are. And it is an invitation for us to awaken. The craziness of this world helps us to wake up. That's my opinion. And that doesn't mean that I like what is going on. On the contrary, there are lots of things that I absolutely disagree with. And yet, it happens for us for particular reasons, and souls choose different paths. And while we do not, our humans might not understand the big picture behind it, our souls do. That's my belief, that's my opinion. And, well, you might know, maybe not, but I also sometimes have the opportunity to so-called channel loved ones on the other side. And so I did have the opportunity to exchange, communicate with loved ones on the other side who have experienced tremendous terror, wars, etc., etc., etc. And some of them had, from what I could feel, the brightest light, bright light, luminous love being shared from their soul. And it still warms my heart. And now I'm thinking about someone, I'm not going to give any names, probably won't be relevant anyway. But so someone that didn't do good in their lifetime, so to say. And that was one of the brightest and most intense loving energies I have yet to encounter from communicating as a so-called medium, I guess, without wanting to put labels on it, but I guess that's what it's officially called. So I felt like sharing that because looking also at my previous lifetimes from what I am discovering and have been discovering over the last years, I've played different roles as well. And in this lifetime, I played this role, and I know that it made me and my soul who I am and walking on this path. So I'm not trying to find an excuse. I'm attempting to give a perspective. But now, without further ado, the question hasn't been raised to me, and so I will hand over and see what beautiful answer they have for us. Thank you again for asking that question, and I hope this is helpful for everyone tuning in. And if not, please continue and take what resonates and leave the rest. I know this is not all meant for everyone, and that's perfect. Welcome, everyone. And now, before we address this specific question, we would like to invite you all to take a deep breath in through your nose and also breathe out through your nose. Do that 2 more times. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for giving yourself the space to connect, to ground through your breath as you are the lucky one who is currently walking on this earth, who chose to incarnate in this lifetime. And yes, many of you have experienced hardship, many experiences that you wouldn't wish on anyone. Whether we talk about wars, whether we talk about suffering, health issues, whether we talk about abuse in any way, shapes and forms, mental, physical, sexual, whatever the case might be, what you have maybe personally experienced or in your immediate environment. Your soul chose this journey. And everything is happening for you. And so there are experiences that happen for you to grow, for you to expand, and yes, for you to awaken. And what is currently happening on this planet and has been happening is, from our point of view, a little bit like maybe mini earthquakes or maybe bigger earthquakes. And we're just using that for illustration's sake. Or maybe let's use the analogy of a fire. In order for new soil, new plants, for the world to, for the earth to recreate, to build something new, the old has to crumble, the old has to fall off. The old has to be recycled. And so, for example, many of you might have seen and felt maybe even your personal experience or the ones from your children or from your parents, that, for example, the educational system is not really serving its purpose anymore. It was designed for the industrial times. And yet, these structures are still in place today in the so-called 21st century, where many people no longer work in factories. So that system, in order to be redesigned, in order to be adapted to the current needs, has to crumble. And we're not saying that it's all falling apart. We're just giving you an example to illustrate that in order for something new to be birthed, the old one needs to be investigated, to be recycled. And it's not the same for everything, obviously. This is again just an example. So from our vantage point, there are so many things happening in the world right now simultaneously. And it is your choice what perspective you take. And we're not saying to have a blind eye on things. We're saying it is important what you focus on and what you give your energy to. So for example, and we've said this before, whether you choose to take in the daily news for maybe 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the evening, or whether you choose to spend 3 hours of your day on updating yourself what's happening around the world. That is your choice and that is your focus, and you give your energy to the things that you focus on, regardless of what it is. And that energy that you put in is important. It's important to the collective. It's important to the co-creation. So we would kindly invite you that if you are among those that love to watch or read the news, that you really pay attention to what energy you are in and how you are engaging with those news. Are you perceiving them from, let's say, an ego perspective? Or are you getting entangled and carried away about maybe what's being presented or individuals shown in the news, etc., etc.? It is your choice. It is your choice. And so, again, we're not telling you to not watch the news. We are asking you to deeply investigate with yourself what focus you have and what energy you put into it. Because from our standpoint, it is not helpful if you get carried away while watching the news. That is not helping you, nor probably the people around you. And yes, we're talking a little bit in extremes to make the points clearer. So allow yourself to see more and more things while being on your human journey as an invitation to either detach or to change your perspective, or maybe to see potentials and possibilities, like we just said about the school system, for example. Throughout human history, there needed to be, let's say, extremes in order to create something new, in order for a shift to occur. And this is a really, really strong worldwide pattern of you beautiful humans currently incarnated. And that's been going on for so long, and it's so deep that that system is deeply in place, and this is what is currently happening. We can also share with you that for your everyday life, it is also a perspective to witness the amount of people that have been awakening over the last years and that are currently awakening. You beautiful beings easily put people into a box if they act or talk in a certain way, thinking, they're not there yet, or I don't know when they will awaken, or when will they understand, and they don't understand me, etc., etc. So in your everyday life, we ask you to not judge yourself and not judge others for where they are. Everyone is on their own journey. Everyone is. So whether they then, for example, choose to get entangled with what's happening in the world, and you kind of stay neutral, then that's their journey and you on your journey. One of the most important things from our point of view right now is for you to be really aware and really present in the now moment by observing how you feel, and therefore knowing what kind of frequency you send out. You are part of the greatest awakening ever. You are alive right now. And yes, many crazy things happen, but also many great things happen. So it is for you as well to witness those and to focus on those if you feel like it. Just because many of them are not covered in the so-called news doesn't mean they're not happening. And you know that. You also know that change happens from within. Change happens from within. And nothing is more powerful than that, because each and every one of you are realizing deeper and deeper every single day that you are the creator of your reality, and therefore a very powerful creator. That's what this is about. So allow yourself to see that. Allow yourself to feel into that. Allow yourself to realize deeper how all beliefs are forming your everyday reality. And so if you choose to say, I'm not sure where mankind is going, this is going downhill, well, guess what? That will be reflected in your reality. If you say, hey, I'm part of this great awakening, and look, feels like the tilting point of all these people awakening has been reached, so let's wait and see what's possible in the future. Maybe we will be truly creating new educational systems which will support our children, grandchildren, Maybe I can be an active part in that. That would bring me joy. So you choose, our dear friends. You choose, and that will be then reflected back to you. Your energy is the most important barometer for you to see and feel where you're at. You know that the physical reality around you is reflecting back what you feel inside. That's just how energy works. And so while we're being very direct and very blunt, this is truly happening for humanity. And if you feel called to take action, please do. So many beautiful souls who choose to work, for example, with animals, help this planet, work in nature, help out in reservations, whatever it might be, whatever you feel called to do. Maybe you do work or want to volunteer in a school. Maybe you want to do something else. Go for it. It is not happening by you sitting on your couch, meditating. No. It is about you aligning your frequency and your energy and then taking inspired actions. That's how you create your reality. That's how you all create future of humanity. That inspired action in combination with visualizing and imagining how amazingly well it all could turn out to be for you personally, for your family, for your friends, for your loved ones, for humanity, for your local environment. So go, 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 our dear friends. Create your realities. Create the future for humanity right here and now. Starting from within, moving without. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hope that helped. Bye.